This video is Learning Target 6, Unit 1, Lab Safety. And for lab safety in this class, we're going to follow some real basic rules. All of them can be summed up with the most important rule here. And so what you have is we have here is a map. It's the 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 map. And what does the map do? Well, the map shows Dora where she should go, and I don't have a Dora on here, so perhaps we can draw a little dude here. Well, what this little dude needs to get instructions on how to get to the house over here, and so perhaps the map would sing him a song that says something like this: "Treehouse, pyramid, time to go home." And so the little dude would make his way. Now, if he tried to do this, the grumpy old troll that lives under the bridge would come out and try to get him or something like that because he didn't follow directions. But he's going to go this way, and he's probably going to do some sort of like cartwheel thing over that pond because I didn't factor that into my thoughts. And then he's going to climb the steps here, and he's going to go and rest into his hacienda. Why? Because he followed the directions. You're going to have to follow directions in order to do labs, in order to get the best grade on your lab, and in order to stay out of trouble in my classroom. All the labs have a particular instructions. I will be very, very meticulous in going over those instructions, and they will all be written and verbal. You are required to know them when we do labs. We are doing lots of labs in this classroom, and you have to follow directions. Now, another thing we need to talk about is fire. We're not going to do with a lot of fire in here, but we will do with some fire, either from an actual flame or from a heat pad or a heat plate. Now, fire needs three things in order to work. It needs oxygen, heat, fuel. If you take one of those away, you don't have fire. If you have just oxygen and full fuel, you don't have any fire. You have to have a spark. You have to have heat. If you have just heat and oxygen, nothing. You need fuel, and so forth. And so, in order to deal with fire, we're just going to cut off the fuel in this class. That's really easy. If we have a fire problem, we're going to simply turn off the gas or unplug the hot plate. Well, maybe there's still fire, Mr. Chipman. What should we do? Well, over on the wall here, I have a fire blanket. Many of you will ask me about the fire blanket this year. It's not to start fires or to catch people on fire. It's actually to get rid of fire. That's what the fire blanket does. There's actually a convenient little hole there on the fire blanket for you to feel what it feels like without actually having to open the fire blanket. It's just a rough blanket. You don't have to get all crazy about it. If there's a fire, don't be stupid. Let me know, and we'll deal with it. All right. Safety goggles. You may wear safety goggles if you'd like. I don't believe we're going to be doing any experimentation here that would require you to use them. The most dangerous chemicals we'll probably be dealing with is like rubbing alcohol. There may be a time where I'll require you to wear some rubber gloves. But as far as safety goggles are concerned, I don't believe we will be needing them. Glassware. Now, we will be using lots of glass in here, and guess what? Someone in this classroom is going to break glass, and that's okay, as long as it's an accident. If we begin throwing glass, then we'll begin having a problem. And so hopefully we're not going to do that. If you break a glass, I'm not going to strike like an eagle from on high. I'm just going to say, whoops, I've broken a glass too, and we're going to clean it up. Now, the last thing I want you to do is sweep glass under the table or put broken glass into the little cubbies or whatever. Just tell me. I won't bite your head off. And if I feel like biting someone's head off that day, I'll just wait, and it won't be you. So don't worry about the glass. Now, some things you may want to do is you may want to wear or not wear loose clothing. You may want to, for you guys who have long hair, girls and guys that have long hair, and if you want to put it up, you may want to do that because you don't want things dangling. Again, we're not dealing with dangerous things, but there will be a day this year where we'll probably have some pureed liver or something like that, and who wants pureed liver in their hair or clothes. Nobody. All right. My number one rule that really kind of encapsulates all the other rules too, to some degree, is we will have no horseplay in the lab. No horseplay, no goofing off. Now, I'm all about having fun. You will notice that this year, I hope. But we're not going to goof off in the way that we can break someone's lab, break our own lab, hurt someone, whatever. If you're goofing off, I'll give you an automatic zero in the lab. If you haven't learned at this point in your academic career, zeros are not good for one's grade. Now, here's a general map of my classroom, whereas this green dot down here is our green square is the door, and here's our beloved fire blanket. And these black circles represent trash receptacles, so when you finish your Kit Kat or water bottle, please don't stuff it into the nearest hole in your table. There's a trash can conveniently located at the end of your table. I'm sure if you're sitting at the edge or the outer edge, perhaps your neighbor would mind putting in the trash can for you. Um, don't trash my room, please. I will find you and let you clean it. Back at the back of the room, you obviously can see the shower there. Don't pull the shower. Uh, don't pull the shower. There's also behind that an eye wash station. If you were to get chemicals in your eye, we have to put your head down on the eye wash station. Again, not an issue in here. And then last but not least, we have our fume hood, which is the thing that has Baby Einstein on it. And again, not an issue in my class. You also notice that every lab station is equipped with sinks. If you would like to write a 2,000-word history on indoor plumbing, or perhaps a treatise on the nature of water and all of its funness, then you will turn the sinks on in my class when we're not doing a lab. There's no need to do that, so if you'd like to write me a long history on plumbing, then please, by all means, turn the sinks on during class. That's lab safety. We will have a quiz over it. It's nothing major. Basically, to sum up lab safety, don't be dumb.